The last time we had a Champions League final with teams that were completely unexpected to get there was back in 2003-2004, that season. The final was Monaco versus Porto, and Porto ended up winning the tournament. We find ourselves as that team looking to get to an unlikely Champions League final today when we play leg 1 and leg 2 of the Champions League semi-final against Arsenal. What could possibly go wrong? How are we doing, everybody, and welcome to part 29 of Club 3 here on MyCareer on FM23. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video where we have got a double header against Arsenal. As previously mentioned, it is the Champions League semi-final. We're going to be showing you the first leg and the second leg. And if you're excited to see whether we can get through to the first Champions League final of this save, then do not forget to leave a like on the video for me and subscribe so you don't miss any of the nonsense coming out of this face right here. Since you were last with us, I seem to have forgotten to start on the screen that I normally start on. You all know I normally start on this screen, and yes, I seem to keep forgetting it. As things stand at the moment, we are 9 points clear at the top of the league, with 12 points left to gain in the league. So, it's looking likely that we're going to retain our Premier League crown. It's not a guarantee, though. So, since you were last with us, what's happened? Well, we played one game. That one game was against Fulham. We beat them 3-1. It was only 1-0 for a long time, and 2 injury time goals settled things. Lewis Murray chipping in with his first goal of the season. He hasn't played a lot for us. Only 3 Premier League games, 2 FA Cup games, 2 Carabao Cup games. Every single one from the bench, hasn't started a single game. However, in the Premier League, he scored 1, set up 2 in those 3. So, I tell you what, he does the job when we need him to. He's not a very good player anymore, but he's got a little bit of magic dust in him. But the last time you saw us was that 4-3 against Man City, so not a lot of time has passed. So we are just going to get into this game and see how we do. It's the home leg first and the away leg second, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But your 11 for the game against Arsenal, it is Hoyenhall in goal, Livramento, Fofana, Badiashile and Thomas in defence, Veloso and Lavia in the middle with Palmer, Cucchiara and Shelder up supporting Orlando up front. One quick thing actually, before we do anything, I do just want to quickly show you one thing, because I think it will come up on here. Paris Walker-Hughes, currently on loan at Fortuna Dusseldorf. He is, I think it should say it on here, but it won't actually. Yes, it does. Next Gen. He is the winner of the Next Gen award. Now, we haven't had anyone come near it yet. We have had, oh, no, we have. We had Carl Jimenez come second. So we have had some success with it in the past. I think when we've had like the top 50, I think we've had players come in the one of the lists for young players, but Paris Walker-Hughes winning this award, looking like the best young player coming through. And he does look very good already, very, very quick. He's getting better on the ball all the time. He's had a very good season for them. He's not actually got a lot in terms of goals and assists, but his average rating has been pretty spectacular, so good future for him. I did just want to quickly bring that to your attention, but let's get into the game and let's see what we can do. Our squad is completely fit. Everyone is injury-free. We've just got the players to choose from, so it's just about who we think is going to get the job done. And on form, we've gone with the 11 that I read out moments ago. I do wonder about right back. Jimenez and Livramento have been up and down recently. Livramento played very well last time out. He played very well coming off the bench as a left back. So, we'll see what happens in this game. Fingers crossed he'll do well, but we are underweight in the first leg against Arsenal. And Arsenal, remember, are a very, very good team. I can't remember what our record is against them this season. However, in cup competitions, they knocked us out of the FA Cup. That was a wild pass, and Thomas has got on the end of it. I was expecting that to go out of play. Thomas in the, well, nearly in the box here, but Kronberg doing some great tracking back for a young attacking player. Very, very nicely done indeed. It pains me to say it, but Tomiyasu loses the ball immediately, undoes all that hard work. Shoulder up into Cucchiara, and Orlando has put it in the back of the net. No response from the linesman. Will it get given, or is it offside? I don't know if I could take it if we actually got to a Champions League final in this season. I mean, it's been disallowed. Because I am similar to last season, although I'm not going to go as hard with it this year. I am assuming this is going to be our last season at Southampton. I think the time has definitely come now. So, I don't know this would be signing off in some style if we got to a Champions League final, let alone winning it. I'm not expecting that, but if we did get to a final, my word, that would be spectacular. But yeah, I am thinking we won't be quite as aggressive about it, but we are going to look to leave this season. Hoyenhall with the save there from Araujo. So we will look at what jobs are available at the end of the season. I might start looking now what jobs are insecure. I actually think Liverpool and Man City might come up again because they've had poor seasons as well, Liverpool especially. So they might be available again. I don't know whether I'd want to go to one of them with the way that they have rejected me so many times, but we might have a look anyway and just see. If there's any jobs abroad, I would be very, very happy to go abroad. I mean, if Dortmund, for example, if they came up, I'm so glad that tackle didn't connect there because that would have been absolutely horrific. And Hoyenhal is up for this one. We actually rested him against Fulham. We put Sam Roberts in there. Didn't have the best of games, Sam Roberts. He conceded a goal, but it wasn't too bad. But I just wanted to make sure Hoyenhal was as fresh as possible because I think sometimes if he plays too many games, he gets a bit sloppy. Kuchiyara with the attempt there, but he just couldn't find a way past Aaron Ramsdale. I think sometimes he just needs a little bit of a rest. Cup competitions obviously is one of those things, but I just thought he's not in the running for the clean sheets. We've got no skin on this whatsoever. We've got a gap in the Premier League. Let's just rest him and put Sam Roberts in there. And it gets Sam Roberts another game as well, which is always nice. So, happy days. On the future transfer front, this is I thought Thuram might have got it in there. Charlie Cresswell is looking ever increasingly likely that he will not be here next season, which is fine by me. He wants to leave. He would like to go. He's on the transfer list already, but it's quite amicable how it's come about. And we have had teams interested in him already. I just don't know whether we'll get the value for him that I want. We paid around 50 million for him. I would very much like a similar amount. And Livramento practically clearing it off the line there and Palmer heading it out of play. We are playing a bit of a rearguard game so far, and we're doing it well, but I would like to just get a few more chances. And Orlando just wasn't really aware to the pass there, which is a bit of a shame. And it is now with Arsenal again. Ramsdale out to Militao, into Tielemans. Tielemans out to Ellison, whoever he is. Running down their right-hand wing. Gets it back to Tielemans. Tielemans now. Big ball over top to Kronberg, down to Araujo, and that is 1-0. And that is a problem, because the home leg is the one I would like us to win. Not saying we can't from 1-0 down. We've done it plenty of times this season. But in the biggest of games, that is not what we want. That is not what we want at all. Our defence has just been caught napping there a little bit. Just going to encourage the boys just before half-time. They are all over us at the moment. Tomiyasu has actually had to go off injured. We're going to tell them that they've been terrible. Defence has not been good enough. Midfield's not been good enough. And I tell you what, Orlando has had an awful game. So here's what we're going to do. Orlando's coming off. Pinamonti is coming on. Shelderup's not played well. Trasoldi is coming on. We're also going to replace Thomas. Livramento's going to go to left back. And we are going to bring on Jimenez. Anning could play there. I've got no issue with Anning. But Livramento looked really good last time out. So we are going to just give that a go. And let's just pat all three of them on the head. And let's do what we can. And let's just fire the boys up. Champions League final is at stake. We've gone one step further than we ever have at this club. 4 seasons in. To be in the Champions League within 4 seasons is an achievement in and of itself. The fact that this is the 3rd time we'll have been in there, and it's the furthest we'll have ever got, takes nothing away. If we go out at this point, we've got nothing but pride that we should be feeling. However, we know we can beat Arsenal. We have beaten them before, but they have also beaten us. We know that they're a difficult team for us to play against. Pinamonti goes for the worldie, and he's just inches away from sticking it in the back of the net. Oh, my word. What an opportunity. What an opportunity. Right, we have... Well, we don't have possession, actually. It's Arsenal. Looks away from the screen, and all of a sudden Arsenal had the ball in their corner, so we must have lost it. Right, Tierney's running forward for them. Tierney's still going in this universe, but we do intercept Fofana. Back to Badiashile, into Livramento now. Looking for the pass to go forward. Gets it to Trasoldi. Trasoldi, who had that great start, remember, but has gone off the boil a little bit since then. Livramento, though, looking for Palmer, but couldn't quite find him. Bit sloppy in the pass there. But Livramento gets the ball back, cuts inside to Fofana. Veloso now. Ball through to Kuchiyara, and Kuchiyara has somehow not scored. Arsenal's goal is leading a charmed life right now. Right, substitution number 4. We're going to bring on someone a little bit more attack-minded. We are taking Cole Palmer off. We're bringing Jay Leathan on. We know Leathan can get things going. He's rapid as well. And we will save that final change just in case of any injuries. I'm thinking Kuchiyara, we might bring him off and bring someone on playing in the middle and put Veloso as attacking midfield. going to do that, in fact. Although, so we know can do the job there. And Kuchiara can come off, and we'll bring on Tapia, I think. We do Tapia, or do we do Ward-Prowse? The only reason I think Ward-Prowse is purely because bringing him on, we've all of a sudden got a set-piece taker, and that's taught me into it. If we get a corner, we get a free kick. Bit of magic from James Ward-Prowse. Fire the boys up for the last few minutes. It's only one goal that we're behind by. But we are going into enemy territory for the second leg. Does worry me a little bit. Right, big ball over the top to Kronberg for Arsenal. Kronberg puts inside. Lavia just intercepts it, but he loses the ball to Araujo. Jimenez gets the ball back, though. Lovely stuff. Lethan now. Big ball looking for Pinamonti, and he's found Pinamonti. Andrea Pinamonti cannot get it past Ramsdale. Ramsdale having a superb game here today. We're going attacking for the last few minutes. Right, corner from James Ward-Prowse. Can he find the head for Fafana or Badiashile? Rips it in. Badiashile's there and it's just over, but it's a lovely corner from James Ward-Prowse. It's exactly why we brought him on. But time is running out, and I think that might be it. It is indeed. First leg over. We lose the first leg, but still have a chance. Still have a chance to go to the Emirates and get them there. It's unlikely, but it's possible. The other semi-final, by the way, Milan versus Bayern Munich. So that's a heck of a game if we were to get through. We were expected to be competitive. We more than smashed that, to be honest with you. Quarter-final of the Emirates FA Cup, we have done that. So just looking at all of the objectives, by the way, we've achieved everything already. So we don't need to worry anything. We're already qualified for the Champions League next year. Bazinga, that's awesome. Right, we have got one game to play between now and the other Arsenal game. It's against Manchester United. So I'll just get that little game out of the way, and then we'll come back for the Arsenal game and see whether we can go through to the final or whether we don't. I'm feeling pessimistic. I don't know whether you can tell. I don't know if that's coming through the screen, but just a little bit pessimistic. Well, that didn't go well. Not even slightly. We couldn't seal the title in that game, but we could make it so that we would basically just need one more point to clean sheet. We'd have won it on goal difference effectively had we won that game, but as it is, we really haven't. And as it is, if we have a quick sneaky look at the table, we are still in the driver's seat. We're 5 points clear. We do still have a game in hand. We win that game in hand, I think we will win a title, I think. The Spurs have bottled their game, so as Spurs have bottled theirs, the game that they've already played, which was there, because they bottled that, we just need one more point to win the title. However, if we lose all 3 of our final games, or even just 2 of them, or even if we fail to win them and we just get draws, and Spurs win their last 2 games, well, actually, no, we would have to lose. We'd have to lose all of the games, wouldn't we? Yeah, we'd have to lose all the games. We lose all of our final games, we're not winning the title. That's what I'm getting at, which is really frustrating. But it's Champions League time. It's time to focus on that. And what I do just want to point out is Milan have made it through, but I just want to show you the madness that is their game. I had a quick look at it. So, looking at this tie, Bayern Munich won 4-1 on the night, but Milan go through on penalties. Milan won 3-0 in the first leg, got battered in the second leg, but held their nerve and went through in the end. So it is Milan who we would face if we get through. We are 1-0 down, of course, from Arsenal. And this is the 11 that we're trusting to get us through the tie. It is Hoyenhal in goal, Livramento, Fafana, Badiashile and Thomas in defence, Veloso and Lavia in the middle with Lethan, Kuchiara and Shoulder up, supporting Orlando up front. Let's just get into the game and let's just cross everything. Fingers, toes, legs, arms, hands, teeth. Can you cross your teeth? I don't know, probably not. But let's just do what we can. We are good enough to beat Arsenal. We are more than good enough. So let's just see whether we can do it. But we've got to do it the hard way. We are away from home. That does make things more difficult. And it is a very, very good Arsenal team that has got a mix of youth and experience. They have got a lot of experience, but they've got some fantastic young players. We do as well, though, and we are starting the big guns. It is pretty much the strongest 11 that we could start, but that is horrific defending. Araujo has a real chance here. Him versus Hoyenhal. Hoyenhal is big enough for the save, though. Really, really poor from us. We need to not do that. I'm going to demand more from the boys. I know it's really early to be doing that. We need to be focused way more than that. That was shocking. Right, header out. Only as far as Tierney. Back to Damsgaard. Damsgaard. Veloso clears. Goes past Militao. It's going to go to the halfway line, but Damsgaard apparently offside anyway, so we don't really need to worry. But that was a shaky start, and we cannot afford to have much of a shaky start. Come on, lads. Right, we have had an opportunity, and it has, well, all of our opportunities have been on target. They have had more, but they have only had the one on target so far. So we need to really step things up. Orlando gets the nod today. He was anonymous the last time we relied on him, but then in the last game against Manchester United, Pinamonti got a 6.1. He was awful, like the worst game I think I've ever seen him play. So we're just not going to give him a chance today unless we need to bring him off the bench. We're going to give Orlando the first attempt and see whether he can do something for us. We know he has that bit of magic in him. Right, Thomas going out wide. He has got shoulder up with him. Fine shoulder up. Shoulder up now needs to cut back into Kuchiyara. And Kuchiyara might have just redeemed himself. He got sent off against Manchester United. Absolutely unacceptable. But he has gone and scored today. Puts us ahead in the tie. In the game today. In the tie, it's 1-1. We now have an opportunity thanks to Kuchiyara, who is, by the way, classed as a world-class player. I had that come up in a training report. He is a 4.5-star player, allegedly. He is a world-class player. And he's worth, well, his current value that we have set it, just because I want to make sure teams know we want the big bucks for him if they come in. 123 million is the minimum. That gets you in the conversation. Then I'm asking for 150. Again, I would want more than that because I don't want to lose him. But he's some player. Shoulder up's coming forward here. Kuchiyara's in again. And Kuchiyara is trying to audition for every big team in Europe. What a performance he's putting in. It's a heavy touch from Veloso, but he gets lucky. Gets the ball back. Back to the captain, Lavia. Looking for Jay Leathan, the English wonder kid. Finds it, but Tierney just intercepts. And the highlight ends. But we start the next one with a corner to Arsenal. But Badiashile heads it clear. Only as far as Tchouameni. But Lavia did okay. But Tchouameni managed to remain there and get the ball back. Ellison, now, one of the new gens in the Arsenal team, running down their right wing, crosses it in. Hoyenhal, though, is there to smother the ball. No mistakes. Touch wood. I've got a wooden cabinet next to me. So far. Hopefully, we can continue that way. Right, Hoyenhal throws it out to Fofana. Fofana now into Veloso. Over to Leathan. Leathan. What a ball forward. He finds shoulder up, shoulder up. He's gone for the chip and it's just over and just wide. Great opportunity if shoulder up maybe had to just slow down a little bit there. Maybe he could have cut it back to Orlando. Orlando's got a poor rating at the moment, but it's not because of him. It's because he's not in service. Kuchiyara has apparently picked up a knock, but it hasn't come up yet. I'm going to keep him out there just in case. And it's a huge mistake. Oh my word, it's a huge mistake from Aaron Ramsdale. And Orlando makes it 2, and we are now ahead in the tie. And as it stands, we're in the Champions League final. Ramsdale to Militao. And it's Militao. I was kind of looking away, thinking it was just a goal kick. But it's Militao looking for Tchouameni. Between them, they've messed it up. And Orlando has gone and been gifted an opportunity. And he is not going to waste those. And it's half-time. And we lead in the match and the tie. We have a foot in the Champions League final. What utter madness is this? My word. Right, let's just check fitness levels because we know Kuchiyara picked up a knock. Apparently he is injured. I don't really want to take him off. We're going to have to, I think, though. And I think Veloso will come up into that position. We'll take Kuchiyara off. And I think it will be Tapia that we bring off. Do you know what? It is going to be Tapia. I was thinking about maybe Vinstra just for a bit more defensive stability. But no, we're going with Tapia. We know what Tapia can do. He's a good player. And we're just taking Kuchiyara off just to protect him a little bit. Because we still have 3 games left in the Premier League after this. We want to win the Premier League. With the position that we're in. Right, Tapia. It's a poor pass from him. He's got to get warmed up a little bit. It's only a few minutes into the game. Right, Kronberg now running down that right wing. Looking to cut inside. Doesn't know. Livramento steals it off of Damsgaard. Into shoulder up. Shoulder up. Looking for Jay Leathan. He's found the English wonder kid. And Jay Leathan has made it 3. Wow, we have come back like Lazarus himself. We were poor in that first game. Absolutely poor, especially in front of goal. There's still time in this tie. But Jay Leathan, the English wonder kid, has just put us 3-0 up at the Emirates against Arsenal in the Champions League semi-final. And we might be avenging being knocked out of the FA Cup here. And Shoulder Up is the one who's turned up today. He's got 2 assists today and he's looking like a superstar. Kuchiyara was looking great as well, but Kuchiyara injured. We've taken him off. Shoulder Up with a nice intercepting tackle there. Thuram, though, looking for options. But Tapia intercepts. Orlando now has the ball back to Jay Leathan. Leathan looking for Orlando. Can't quite find him. Arthur Theat just gets in the way. And that's Brahim. I think that's Brahim Diaz, I think. But his passes intercepted. We are getting the interceptions. This is what happened to us in the first leg. Right, Lavia dwelled on the ball, but Badiashile gets in. But Brahim just with the shot, and it's over. And we get away with it. We get lucky. I think that is substitute o'clock. Right, I'm looking at the team. I'm looking at fitness. I'm looking at players who are playing well and badly. The only one who wasn't playing well is Tapia. He's not long come on. We're not taking him off. Veloso is tiring. I am going to take him off. I am going to bring on... Do I bring on Hector Febre? Or I'm even debating bringing on Nicola Trasoldi. And maybe moving Shoulder Up centrally. Do you know what? Let's do that. Trasoldi we know can do a bit of magic. And Shoulder Up, he's good enough that he can do a job in the middle. I have faith in him that he can do a job in the middle. Do we make any more changes? Fitness-wise, we look okay at the moment, to be honest. I'm thinking Shoulder Up, if he continues to maintain his fitness, will keep him on. But Hector Febre might be someone who will come on at some point. But Trasoldi can come on because we just know he can get a goal here and there. Not that we need one at the moment, but if they get another goal, it will get a little bit hairy. So let's not count our chickens just yet. Right, Leathan. Brahim just runs and steals the ball off him. Kronberg trying to get the ball. Thomas intercepts, only as far as Thuram. But Thuram's pass is intercepted. Trasoldi now on the ball, running in field, looking for Shoulder Up. Couldn't find him, though. And Arsenal come again. Big ball over the top, looking for Martinelli. Martinelli will get onto it, but will pass it instead. Gets the ball, but it's a wonderful bit of movement. And Gabriel Martinelli is in our box. Cross it into Kronberg, and they have got one. And it's not quite over yet. Life in Arsenal. Life in Arsenal. We're telling the boys to focus. Job in hands. Let's make sure we don't let this slip. Right. Final substitutions. Unless Arsenal score and we go to extra time. Right. Livramento is tiring. I don't really want to bring Ward-Prowse on as a right back. Because although he can play there in the nicest possible way, I don't want James Ward-Prowse to be the player if we go to extra time. That's what I'm currently thinking. So maybe we leave Livramento and that can be a last change if we need to make it. Wesley Fofana is very, very tired. I'm going to leave him just for the time being. I am debating maybe a midfield change, maybe Lavia, but he's having a good game. So Shoulder Up and Leathan are the two I'm looking at. Shoulder Up's had a great game. Leathan has as well, but it's going to be Leathan who comes up for Cole Palmer because we know Cole Palmer can just pull some magic out of the hat. I'm also going to put Shoulder Up back out wide, and Trasoldi, we're going to turn into a shadow striker and just see if he can affect the game a little. Let's do that, and let's see whether we can get a little bit more energy up further forward. Right, demanding more from the boys is going to be what I do next. We've done it, and let's just see if we can hold on. Right. Final few minutes, 2 substitutions left. Ward-Prowse coming on at right back. And I am going to take Fofana off for Guardian just to get a bit more energy in the defence. That's what I'm thinking. Right, come on, lads. Will Arsenal sneak another goal in, or will we do it? I think we're doing it. I think we're doing it. Past time. Well, after the first leg at home, I did not think that we were going to go through. But that blitz of goals, Kuchiyara, Orlando, Leathan, getting us over the line. Kronberg made it risky at the end. And to be fair, they doubled the amount of shots that we had. But we were more clinical today. And it's not usually the case that we're the more clinical side. But today we were. But we bossed them on possession. We bossed them on passes. We were more clinical with what we had. They were more wasteful. Wow. And we are through to a Champions League final. And again, I'm sort of convinced this is the last season with Southampton, if I'm honest. I am sort of convinced. We'll qualify for Club World Cup. Right. I have put a short on this channel about the Club World Cup from FM22. If you haven't watched it, please do watch it, because in the nicest way, I have no interest in playing the Club World Cup, because I got through to like a semi-final or a final, and it broke me. It broke me mentally. It's the last episode of the Aston Villa save on FM22. Just go and watch that video, because honestly, the clip doesn't do it justice. Watch the whole thing. It's ridiculous. But anyway, we are playing Milan in the final at the Puskas Arena. And now we have a Champions League final to contend with. 31st of May. But before that, we've got the Premier League to contend with. That we are in the middle of half bottling. We have 5 points clear with 3 games left, and we have 1 game in hand over Spurs, and no one can get closer than they currently are. Arsenal can get as close as them on 85 points, but the goal difference will still be different. So, wow. Okay, so we've only got 3 games left in the league. We are going to play 2 of them, and then we'll have a Champions League final special. So, I will see you for the Newcastle game. I'm going to go and play West Brom now, and then I'm going to go and play Newcastle and Leeds, and then after that, we'll have another episode which will be a Champions League final special. So I will see you for the Newcastle game. See whether we can, in fact, win the title. We might have already won the title by the West Brom game if we do win that. So maybe, just maybe, it will have already happened. If that does happen, what I might do is we might see the season out with Leeds and then do Milan in that episode as well, just to have 2 games in that episode, because there's no point playing Newcastle if we've already won the league. So if that happens, that's what we'll do. But if not, you'll have Newcastle and Leeds and then another episode with Milan. That's the plan. Right, that's the plan for the next video. So until then, thank you very much for watching. Do not forget to leave a like on the video if you have enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe as well. It's free to do so, and it will really mean a lot to me if you do. And you won't miss any of the future nonsense that comes from the channel if you do as well. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully we'll win the Premier League. Cheers.